Peppers. What makes them spicy?
And we're talking dresses. What color is it?
Let's learn a thing or two.
Man, it feels good. It feels good to be here.
So wait, everything's running?
Yeah, except for this.
No, that's going already.
Hey. Good morning. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to
The official Two Top podcast. Yeah. Here we are.
I'm your host, Thomas Lantz, and this is my co-host,
Matt Berg. How's it going?
I guess we're both hosts.
It's
and
weird
co-hosts.
when you say co-host because that makes us both co-hosts, but you're a host and I'm a host. The other host. I'm your host and I'm your other host. That's
host
like a classic
in pairing. We moved up in the world. We've decided to move to the Aether instead. They gave us a nice table in here, and
they brought us all the equipment we needed.
Yeah, it's lonely out in the white void, but in here we
There's
can show
nothing behind us. It goes on and on and on.
nothing that way and nothing that way. But we'll have some lovely things to demonstrate with this.
Yeah. Some exciting things.
But Matt, I'd like to talk about food in this morning.
I'm hungry. So.
I enjoy food.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to talk about spicy food.
Oh, okay.
I love spicy food.
Are you a huge fan of spicy food, or are you like, I can handle it?
I can handle it, but like if there's a spicy option, I'll go for it. Because, a little bit of seasoning goes a long way.
Oh, that's true. That is true. I know that.
But, why are things spicy in the first place? Like, what makes them spicy? And the first thing I think of is peppers. Peppers are spicy.
Yeah.
So let's go dive into
why.
that. So scientists actually believe that peppers were spicy in order to deter animals from eating them.
Like poisonous foods are kind of
Yeah.
bad tasting.
But the thing is, that doesn't make too much sense. Because the whole point of fruit on a plant is for their seeds to be spread because of animals eating them.
Mm-hmm.
So why would the pepper be so spicy to deter mammals? Well, it's actually they want to naturally select which animals distribute their seeds.
Does that mean it's specific distribution? Like certain animals that can tolerate the spice are tougher, so they'll go to like tougher places?
That's
and the
what
peppers will survive in these tough, extreme environments?
So peppers, they want to be spread by birds. Birds don't have heat receptors.
They don't?
No. So that's why
they
they're
have
able
tongues,
to handle
but they can handle it.
Yeah, that's why they're able to handle the taste.
Don't challenge a bird to a hot wing eating competition. Is that what we just learned?
Yeah, that's also some bird cannibalism, but we'll get into that on another day.
What? Oh.
You can't have a bird eat chicken wings.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even think of it that way. Well, they're not chickens, but they're birds. They're eating their own kind.
Yeah, but peppers are odd. And studies have also shown that spiciness of a pepper is directly related to how much rainfall is in an area. So there's a lot of things that factor into the spiciness level of a pepper. And spiciness is also considered a protective barrier that prevents fungus and insects from eating plants. And because of this, the pepper becomes more spicy the more mature it becomes in order to further protect the seeds because they've become more valuable.
Mm. So you're telling me that fungus and insects have heat receptors in a way?
Well, it's just so potent that the insects can't.
So it affects them too.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the way we're affected, but it affects them also.
Yeah, it's like a natural pesticide, a spicy pesticide. That's what we're eating.
Spicy pesticides.
But you know what?
It's nature.
All that spice is made out of capsaicin and stuff, but hold up. What is capsaicin?
I don't know.
Capsaicin.
I haven't even heard that term.
Well, capsaicin is a chemical compound. It's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what brings the heat, that chemical compound, that nonpolar chemical compound. But the thing is, it's not actually hot. Like, it's room temperature. It could be frozen and still be hot. Like, it's not hot, but it's hot at the same time. Because if you were to touch it with your hands,
yeah,
it wouldn't feel warm. It's just chemical. But what happens is
when it reacts, right?
Not even. It reacts to something in your body called TRPV1 receptors, which detect heat from like boiling water, acidic foods, bitter spices.
Okay, so when we say hot, it's not when we say hot, it actually means hot.
Yeah.
Right? Not just spicy isn't referred to as hot. Hot is actually a sense that you're receiving. Like a boiling pot is the same hot that spice gives us.
Yeah, like when you
That's interesting.
when you drink hot water or something, their receptors analyze that heat. And the thing is, these capsaicin particles, they attach to these receptors, causing your brain to think, I'm eating something hot.
Yeah.
Now, capsaicin, they attach to the receptors, making your brain think you're eating something hot. And the more capsaicin there is, the hotter it gets. But how do we measure how hot something is?
I want to know this because I watch a YouTube channel
Called Hot Ones.
Hot Ones.
Well,
great show. They have the Scoville.
That's correct,
rating.
Matt. We're going to talk about the Scoville scale.
I don't know what it means. Tell me about it.
So, it was created by Mr. Scoville. And doing
Okay.
research, I've discovered that it'd be easier to just give examples of things on the Scoville scale than try to determine the whole process, because it's like a lengthy scientific thing of this and this.
There's numbers. I'm sure it's a bunch of different categories that have to qualify.
So we're just going to talk.
What's low on or are you going to start high?
Well, in our lovely array here,
Oh yeah, this guy right here.
we have bell peppers at 0. They're sweet peppers. They have no capsaicin. They're no Scoville.
No capsaicin at all.
No. So they're not spicy.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll move up to their palomino. Palombo.
Spell it.
Polano. They're green.
Polano.
Poblano. Poblano
Sí,
peppers.
Claro.
They're between 1,000 and 4,000.
Okay, so we're going from 0 to 1,000 and 4,000. So it's a
Yeah.
pretty high number of values, right?
One that you can understand, jalapeno.
Yeah, okay.
That's 5,000 to 8,000.
Okay, yeah.
A Fresno pepper is 35,000 to 10,000. We're moving up. Cayenne pepper, 30,000 to 50,000. That's 6 times hotter than a jalapeno.
Yeah. Yeah, we're jumping up pretty rapidly. And you can see that in the hot ones when they go up.
We hit habanero now, 350 to half a million
Yo.
Scovilles. That's about 100 times hotter than a jalapeno.
Yeah.
And then we hit the hottest
yeah.
pepper in the world, which is the Carolina Reaper, which comes in at 2 million.
2 million?
So
That's the amount of, I'm sorry, what is the chemical?
that's the amount of that's
That's the Scoville rating.
the Scoville rating,
But-
which is how hot.
And that
Because
reflects that amount of
capsaicin.
capsaicin also. So
It's like the percentage of capsaicin in the pepper.
and I'm sure there's a couple other factors that really
Well,
add up to it, right?
just for fun, pepper spray
Yeah.
is up there with Carolina Reaper of 2 million up to 5 million, depending on its strength.
And they actually, if I'm right, they actually use actual pepper concentrates, right?
Yeah.
In those sprays, yeah.
Now, the thing is,
That's crazy.
this is all coming from a pepper, coming from a spray. But if you were to have pure capsaicin, 15 million Scovilles.
15 million. Okay, so
Which is-
capsaicin spicy by itself to a certain level. It's just how much there is. When it's just pure and you have a lot of it, it's gonna be
Like when you have it in
Would it kill you?
when you have it in a pepper, it's not a pure concentrate.
because there's water and there's
water,
other
there's
things,
other
yeah.
things, there's compounds within it. But pure capsaicin, it's gonna knock you down.
Yeah,
Maybe
I bet it would
down
kill you.
pretty bad and ruin some stuff inside you.
It'd burn your skin off or something. You know, people say that like, my insides are on fire. Literally, I think it would set your insides on fire.
And you know what? When we have our insides on fire, how are we going to fix this problem? How do we fix how we feel?
Oh, this is a great segment here.
Well, milk is your go-to option. But let me explain from a scientific level why you should be grabbing the milk and not the water.
Tell me.
Well, it goes down to a chemical level. Capsaicin is considered a non-polar molecule, meaning that it's willing to connect to other things.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, water, it's stable. It's a polar molecule. So it's like mixing water with oil. It doesn't mix. So what happens when you drink water is you're just mixing the capsaicin around your mouth.
Your mouth, yeah. Okay,
which is
that
making
makes
it
sense.
worse.
Yeah. Milk, on the other hand, is a polar
Yeah, milk is a
molecular
non-polar.
makeup.
So when the capsaicin and the milk come together, they actually...
It mixes it.
Yeah, they absorb one another, and then they can be cleared. Yeah.
Still spice in your tummy, but better than spice
Better
in your
than
mouth,
spice
in
in
your
your mouth.
gums.
That's why dairy products are a go-to, like, not like water-based stuff.
Yeah.
You really want to get something that can mix in, like ranch is also good.
Mm-hmm.
The dressing.
This is cream-based dairy. I was going to say, the episode of Hot Ones with Jack Black and...
The Tenacious...
the Tenacious D episode, Jack came to the table and he was like, okay, I got he got this drink from like a cafe. It was basically a cream-based like coffee drink, but it just had sugar in it, lots of sugar. And he was like, this is the ideal fighter of the spice. He's like, sugar and dairy do the job. And that was like the first time someone did that, and it seemed to be working, I guess. But they were going when spice is that hot, you can't really think straight. So they were kind of going between water and that and regular milk. And
it messes with your head.
It does.
Your body just kind of shuts down in a defensive reaction.
Yeah, it's like that. The mucus is just trying to get it out of your system and stuff, and you're crying. And
I feel like this is the moment that then I bust out 2 habaneros and we eat them live on camera.
On camera. You know what the funny thing is? I love Hot Ones is one of my favorite shows. I love the interviews. The questions are great. It got me into eating spicy food. So now when I make meals on my own, I always have sriracha. I always put it in there. That's a chili sauce, so like a chili pepper is in there. It's not that hot. I used to think it was super hot. I couldn't handle heat.
You know why you thought it was super hot? It is, since it's a compound, it's something that you're eating. It's like similar to the cold, like you gain resistance. You've actually become more tolerant to hot foods the more you have. There was a study done with rats that like some were given hot stuff, others were given normal food, and the ones after the whole test they were offered both normal and hot, and the hot ones stuck with the hot because they're used to it. It's not like over time your body gets more accumulated to the heat.
Yeah,
I mean up to an extent. Once you're hitting the high stuff, it's good luck to you.
Yeah,
but that's what I got on the lovely pepper. And
the heat,
bringing the
Scoville level, and the chemical substance of
capsaicin.
Capsaicin, it will kill you.
Well, Matt, let's move on to part 2. What do you have for us on this?
You said don't believe your taste buds. The chilies are spicy. Everything, the pepper, it'll kill you. You know, you can't tell in the moment when you're having the spice. What about your eyes, Thomas? Do you trust your eyes?
Trust them most of the time.
I'm about to hit you with something you've definitely seen before. Highly controversial topic.
Oh.
We're going to put it up right here.
Yes, the blue dress.
Well,
the black and blue or the white and gold, right?
That's correct. It's referred to as the dress. It's an actual art piece, could you call it?
No, I would say it's a bunch of people getting angry about something that's not worth the time.
Well,
first off,
go ahead.
It's black and blue.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get into it. February 26, 2015. I'll get into a little more history about it. This image was released and people heavily debated, is it black and blue? Is it white and gold? So before we get into it, like you said, it's an actual color combination of black and blue, royal blue and black, you know? Black and blue, that's it.
Yeah.
You can't fight that because that's what it actually is.
What it is.
So the thing is, this is a perfect example of something split so perfectly with everything, the lighting, the image quality, that it can be perceived both ways based on the person watching it, basically looking at it, because there's 2 different ways it can be looked at.
Yeah. And
some people can see both. I don't know. The fans
I've never been able to see the other one.
So, the company that actually makes this dress confirmed it's a black and blue dress, and they actually, as a charity campaign, they released a white and gold one. So a white and gold dress version does exist. Okay, so this is a little history on the dress. So there was a wedding in Scotland, in Colonsay, Scotland. 2 people were getting married, and the mother of the bride actually was going to wear this dress to the wedding. So she sent a picture to her daughter And her daughter was like, no, you can't wear that because it's the wrong color. And she's like, what are you talking about? It's black and blue. So she posted it on Facebook for her friends to take a look at. And her friends were like, no, it's white and gold. No, it's black and blue. And they're like, this doesn't make any sense.
No.
So for a week, the debate became well known in this small town of Colonsay in Scotland. It's a small little island. And then on the day of the wedding, the mother wore the dress. And there was a band performing there. And Caitlin McNeil, a friend of the bride, was in the band. And she got into a strong argument with her bandmates about what color this dress was.
I mean, if you're seeing it in person, you know what color it is.
So, yeah, you think you would know. But some people are so set on like, no, it's white and gold. And keep in mind, this is in person. This isn't just that grainy image that we all know. Right. So it was that color combo in certain lighting is just like the perfect, and the stripes and everything. Yeah. It's just the perfect, it gets our brains to think in a certain way. So a few days later, she put it online on Tumblr, and it blew up like crazy. So the grainy image captured doesn't help an accurate representation of the actual color combination. So this phenomenon led people to clearly see a deviation in how people perceive color. So I'm going to list some celebrities here that weighed in on it. And I don't know if you can pick out a trend in who thinks what. So Taylor Swift thought it was blue and black. Jaden Smith, Frankie Muniz, Demi Lovato, Mindy Kaling, and Justin Bieber, they all agreed that the dress was blue and black.
Okay, cool.
While Anna Kendrick, BJ Novak, Katy Perry, Julianne Moore, and Sarah Hyland saw it as white and gold. Kim Kardashian tweeted that she saw it as white and gold, whereas Kanye West, her husband, saw it as blue and black.
I knew Kanye would be on my side.
Of course. So in a test later conducted by scientists, 1,400 respondents found that the 57% saw the dress as blue and black, whereas 30% saw it as white and gold, 10% saw it as blue and brown, and 10% could switch between any of the color combinations.
Well, first off, the blue and brown people just need to go home. That wasn't an option.
That's something going on wrong in their eyes. So a couple days after McNeil, the person who put it on Tumblr, and it blew up, Roman Originals is the company that makes the website. The website experienced a major surge in traffic, and the dress sold out in like 30 minutes, and it was crazy. And it became, a famous internet meme. Still is today, because the science behind it, it's a complete split. So a study carried out by, I'm going to pronounce this, Schlafk, reported that individuals who saw the dress as white and gold showed increased activity in their frontal and parietal regions of the brain. These areas are thought to be critical in higher cognition activities.
Oh, so the smart people know what's going on.
You think. But the thing is, the ones who think it's white and gold, if they're the ones that are smarter, how come they're not seeing it in the correct colors?
Right.
Does that make any sense? So this is, as Wikipedia puts it, such apparently stable, discordant, and bimodal color perceptual distributions within groups of viewers. So obviously many scientists were questioning about this. We're talking about two different things here. Color constancy. I want to show you a little video really quick. So the brain overcompensates certain colors when it's in a certain environment. I'm going to show you this video right here. Okay. Look at that brown right there.
Yeah.
What does that color look like?
Well, that looks like orange.
Yeah, okay. Wait. What color are they really?
They're both brown.
They're both brown. So what does that tell you? The brain overcompensates for the shadows and automatically makes the lower orange one lighter because it's in a darker environment, whereas the top one, it's darker because it's in a lighter environment.
It's all relative.
It's all relative to what's around. But it's interesting because they're side by side. Light, shadow, and it's right there, but the colors are exactly the same. It's really weird. So now we're talking about chromatic adaptation. It's the human visual system's ability to adjust to changes in illumination in order to preserve the appearance of object colors. So there's two different ways to look at the dress. This is why it's so split. One, people could perceive the dress in a skylight setting where there's a lot of blue and white light coming into the frame, whereas other people on the other end can see it as an inside image where people have that yellow light coming from their inside light sources. Yeah. So it depends on the way you look at it. So I did the little test where I looked at it. I was like, okay, I'm going to really focus. I'm going to think that the dress is outside, and I'm going to look at it and see what color. And it did shift the colors a little bit for me, closer to white and gold. But I can see the white in the blue, but I can't turn the black into gold. I
can't turn the black into gold.
I can't do that. Some people can. Like I said, 10%, or was it 10%? That could switch, or no, 10% saw it as blue and brown. Wrong. Oh, wait, no, okay. Another 10% could switch between any of the color combinations. So that's interesting that you can switch it. I don't know if you can. You see it just as
no.
black
I can only
blue, right?
I can only see it as black and blue.
So that's because we picture the image being in an indoor setting, which is true. The picture was taken inside. It's actually black and blue. So that's the correct form that the eye should see it in. But it's interesting that people can look at it the other way. It's completely that chromatic adaptation. People are overcompensating or undercompensating. So there's another situation that might lead people to believe that the dress isn't the color that it actually is. And we're looking at the actual visual illusion of it. So, like, I don't know, when you see this image, what do you see?
I see a bunny.
You see a bunny?
Yeah.
What do you see now?
I see a duck.
There's a duck. It's the duck bunny. We can put it up here.
Yeah, it's only because I saw it in class recently that I was able to like immediately jump on that.
It's immediately how you look at things. So a lot of people say the grainy image doesn't help the situation. It's kind of on an angle. It has stripes alluding to an illusion for people. That doesn't necessarily prove it because it's that chromatic adaptation that really shows the color deviancy in different people's perceptions. But that definitely helps people see two different kind of polar takes on the same dress. And like I said, at the wedding, the actual wedding, people were still confused on the colors of it. It's not an amount of being colorblind. It's an amount of your brain working hard to see colors.
Yeah.
So we've talked about light before on these episodes and how your brain sees it's light. It's color reflected off things. You know, it's however much light is in a room, it's how much is received into your eyes. It's kind of how color reflects on the fabrics. The fabric also happens to be shiny in some places. That doesn't help at all. So it's the perfect example. Scientists are still baffled exactly why it's such a perfect example. This image, this kind of grainy image, you know?
Yeah.
Why is that so splitting to the community?
But there's a lot of things. I mean, recently I feel like it's almost a game to see who can get something to all of a sudden make people disagree. Like recently, the Laura and Yanni debate. Yeah, that Laura immediately reminded me of the dress. And I can imagine that people's
Very
perception
similar.
is all different. I mean, we're all human, but we all think differently.
It's funny that it's so split, kind of 50-50 almost. Yeah. Because, I mean, some people see other colors, so there has to be, like, in-between perceptions, which is, like, that black and brown, you know?
Yeah. They just want to be different.
They just want to be different. Yeah. They're trying. But, so, humans are all kind of made up the same way. We all have two eyes. We all have a nose and everything, and they kind of work the same way. But no one sees things the same way. That's either mentally or actually chemically perceived.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Nothing we can do about it. One thing's for certain, we can all taste hot sauce.
We can
unless if you're a bird.
Yeah, unless you're a weirdo.
Or a weirdo. Or you had it burned off.
Yeah, what if you just can't taste? But
I don't know.
Who knows? So
yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode or viewing this
episode
of Two Top. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you learned a thing or two.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Go get some hot wings. Go get spicy.
Go stare at some dresses until you pick the color. But that's what we have for this week, guys. And we'll see you guys next time
for another Two Topics.